Hello, and welcome back to my world-building project, Tunica Suni. If you don't already know or are new to this, I am Lucius, and this video is about an alternate history set in a world with more or less the same geography as Earth, but with a different history, starting in what could be considered the Neolithic period. Anyway, this is the continuation of the first episode. For those new here, I recommend you go watch the first episode along with some other stuff on my channel. Now, without further delay, let's begin. As the 4th century began, the people of Tunica Suni found themselves more developed than in past centuries. This was due to the great push to find other people beyond Tunica Suni for various reasons, perhaps for trade, future conflict, or maybe just out of curiosity. Who knows? Their proto-cities had grown larger, more fortified, and increasingly prosperous. The annual gatherings at the Heart Grove became more organized, with discussions of trade and resource sharing. Yet underlying tensions between the clans simmered. Disputes over land, resources, and influence became more frequent, sometimes escalating into brief but fierce skirmishes. During this time, rumors of others beyond the western edges of Tunica Suni continued to grow louder. Hunters, traders, and scouts returning from expeditions spoke of distant smoke trails, unfamiliar markings on trees, and even fleeting glimpses of strangers across rivers or along ridges. While no direct contact was made, the possibility of encountering other people was intriguing, to say the least. Who knows what that might lead to? To prepare for potential encounters, the clans began stockpiling resources. The Ba and Min clans, along with their branches, Batura and Minsia, expanded their mining operations, producing more copper tools and crude weapons. The Sanjir clan improved their shipbuilding techniques, crafting larger, sturdier vessels capable of navigating rougher seas. Meanwhile, the Takali shamans chose to do nothing, as they usually did. As time passed quickly, many things happened. The domestication of the Tunicae saw significant development with the first instance of selective breeding. It wasn't much, but it was honest work. With time, the people of Tunica Suni might be able to breed them to be docile and fully domesticated. New ships were developed as well, thanks to great efforts by the Sanjir clan and the full support of the Asku clan. These new vessels were primarily made to trade better with other proto-cities, villages, and towns. Over time, they began replacing the old canoes, rendering them obsolete. With these developments, life in Tunica Suni continued to prosper. This continued until around the middle of the 4th century, when something big happened. As later generations would call it, it was historic. The long-rumored others finally appeared. A scouting party from the Sanjir clan spotted a small group of outsiders along the northwestern coast. These newcomers, brown-skinned like them but wearing unfamiliar woven garments, seemed hesitant and wary. Attempts to communicate were limited, as neither group shared a common language. However, simple gestures and the exchange of goods, shells, feathers, and dried fish started things off on semi-good terms. News of the encounter spread quickly. The proto-cities buzzed with excitement and apprehension. The annual Heart Grove gathering that year was dominated by debates on how to approach these strangers. The Takali shamans, this time, did not withhold action. Having already anticipated this event, they promptly advocated caution in meeting other people, while secretly arranging meetings with the Sanjir clan for reasons and results that remain unknown for now. Meanwhile, the Asku clan, eager to expand their trade network, pushed for proactive engagement, along with the Ba and Min clans, who also wanted to expand their copper trade, but still wary of potential threats, fortifying their settlements further. Over the next few decades, sporadic interactions with the outsiders continued. Trade became more structured, though limited, as both groups learned to navigate their differences. The outsiders brought new tools, ornaments, and even seeds of unfamiliar crops, sparking innovation and experimentation within Tunica Suni. However, misunderstandings occasionally led to conflicts, leaving both sides wary of fully trusting one another. This external presence began to reshape the dynamics within Tunica Suni. The clans realized that their long-standing rivalries left them vulnerable to external threats. While still fiercely independent, some clans began forming alliances, agreeing to defend one another in case of an attack. Though, still this remained as it was over the years, with unification not yet on the table, but with signs continuing to emerge. The annual Heartgrove gatherings saw the emergence of informal coalitions, with representatives negotiating pacts and sharing intelligence about the outsiders. The Takali shamans played a pivotal role during this time, pushing for coalition changes alongside a few yet-to-be-known figures. However, some of their actions remain mysterious. By the end of the 4th century, the people of Tunica Suni experienced significant growth once again. Proto-cities thrived as centers of trade, culture, and governance. The emergence of more settlements had already begun, and it seemed only to get better from here, assuming nothing went unchanged. Now, with the confirmation of other people existing just beyond their lands, who knows what might happen? With that, the 4th century is officially over. Now, before we move on, I just want to say a few things. If you haven't noticed already, I'm trying a new editing style for this video. I even have this icon now to represent me. I'm actually new to this YouTube thing, so I'm still figuring things out. After a month of learning how to edit, I think I did pretty well. I plan to keep making these videos and improving them over time. If you like what you see, consider giving me a sub and a like, and maybe leave me a comment as well. One more important thing, starting from this part of the video, the pacing of the story will start to slow down. But don't worry, it's no big deal. Just think of it as a sort of episode 1 after the prologue. Anyway, I won't waste any more of your time. Let's get back to the video. The turn of the 5th century was a momentous one. It marked the start of many things, but also the end of some. It all began with the Ba and Min clans, which by now you might already know have a fierce rivalry. The two frequently clashed, sometimes over territory, resources, or even petty reasons. Regardless of the reasons, their rivalry took a huge turn during the 5th century. Not long after the century began, war broke out between the two clans, sparked by the unexpected murder of a Min clan leader at the hands of a Ba clan member. This event triggered the first ever actual war between the two. Unlike the skirmishes they had before, this was full-scale conflict. Various small clans joined one side or another, using the conflict as an opportunity to enhance their status. The economy, which had always been on the rise, began to experience a small setback for the first time. Copper trading was completely halted as the war between the two clans raged on. This, in turn, created a huge demand for copper imports from the people beyond Tunica Suni, which inflated its price significantly. The situation caused quite a stir in Tunica Suni. Yet, none of the other clans intervened in the conflict. Instead, they opted to take advantage of it. The Askew clan secretly negotiated trade deals with both sides to secure exclusive rights to buy and sell their copper, playing both sides and gaining immense profits. The Sanjar clan, on the other hand, remained neutral, as did the Takali shamans. Instead, they chose a different approach, taxing traders within their territories and secretly creating fleets of privateers or pirates to raid goods from others beyond their borders. With traders from beyond Tunica Suni getting the worst end of the stick and being hit the hardest, they became the primary targets of these pirates. And with a steady supply of goods to steal, the operation became quite profitable. Meanwhile, the war continued, with bloody battles fought with swords and bows throughout the Ba and Min clan regions. Most battles took place near the cities of Batura and Minsiea, where the copper mines were, though a few reached the mainland cities of Batu and Minsi. Slowly, the war between the two clans came to an end. It reached its conclusion when a new leader, Shad Bha, took control of the Bha clan and executed a well-planned political move to ease tensions between the warring clans. This peace was further solidified through an arranged marriage between the new Ba clan leader and the daughter of the Min clan leader. Though it wasn't widely known, this peace was actually orchestrated by the Takali shamans who helped Shad Bha rise to power. His name would later become known to all people of Tunica Suni, with the region around Batura city eventually being named the Shad region in his honor. With the war over, copper trade within Tunica Suni quickly recovered, and the inflated prices of copper subsided. However, during this time, a new threat emerged. A group of pirates began wreaking havoc on traders across Tunica Suni. These pirates were likely inspired by the earlier privateer operations led by the Sanjir clan and the Takali shamans. The Sanjir investigated the cause of this new wave of piracy and found that most of these pirates came from beyond Tunica Suni. There were suspicions that someone might be orchestrating and funding this sudden rise in piracy, though there was no clear evidence yet. For now, the Sanjir chose to go along with it, as the Takali shamans advised them not to eliminate the pirates, since the risk of exposing their own earlier operations was too great. As piracy became a growing concern, the Heartgrove gatherings increasingly focused on finding ways to address the problem. Eventually, a proposal was made to create a unified navy to combat piracy. Though it was rejected several times, the Sanjir clan, with support from the Asku clan, persisted, with Shad Ba playing a key role in convincing the Min clan to accept the proposal as well. The Takali shamans continued to reject the idea publicly, but secretly supported the creation of the navy, ensuring they maintained influence over it alongside the Sanjir clan. With the establishment of the unified navy, piracy began to decline. The navy conducted operations to teach a harsh lesson to those who dared to steal from them. Though piracy still existed, it was no longer as rampant as before. Meanwhile, the Sanjir and Takali continued their secret operations, hidden from the rest of Tunica Suni. By the end of the 5th century, the people of Tunica Suni had once again achieved significant growth. Cities continued to expand, and new settlements were established. However, the people beyond Tunica Suni remained a mystery. New rumors began to spread about even more groups of people appearing. This was concerning, and the Takali shamans were already making moves to uncover more about these potential newcomers. And that is it. Sorry to cut this short, but this is the end for now. As you've seen, some interesting developments have already taken place. If you've made it this far, make sure to like the video and give me a sub as well. This video took quite a while to make, so your support would be greatly appreciated. I've been so busy these past days, so this took longer than expected. Trying to balance work and content creation is hard, but it's fun. So I'll make sure to keep making more of these. That's all for now. Goodbye.